PC gaming show Most Wanted.
Hello and welcome to the PC gaming show Most Wanted, powered by Intel. I'm your host Frankie Ward, streaming to you from the Churchill
여기 또 한글 번역이 돼 있네.
London's underground government command bunker built back in World War II. But why the fortified venue? Well, today we are doing the world's most dangerous work, putting numbers on video games. Maybe you've noticed there are a lot of video games lately. That's why over the next hour and a half of previews and exclusive reveals, we'll be counting down the definitive ranking of unreleased PC games as selected by The Council, PC Gamer's own hand-picked panel of more than 70 industry experts. We've tasked legendary game developers, accessibility experts, game critics, and content creators with choosing which games
접근성 전문가는 뭐지?
more attention today. We tallied up those votes to build the Most Wanted, the top 25 upcoming PC games chosen by the finest minds in video games. But we didn't stop there. We traveled around the world to meet with developers in their studios, gathering first-hand info from the minds behind the games we want most. We'll be airing those interviews throughout the show. And that's not all. This entire show is a showcase of games we think you'll be talking about in the near future. We'll also highlight games on the PC Gaming Show wishlist, bringing you even more reveals.
PC 게이밍 쇼는 이번에 보니까 스팀하고 연계돼 있더라고.
Let's kick things off with the number 25 game on the Most Wanted list. Still Wakes the Deep. I mean, what better setting for our first game than a collapsing oil rig off the Scottish coast haunted by an otherworldly monster? This psychological horror game features zero weapons, but I'm sure the protagonist will be
무기가 없으면은 도망 다니는 거 아니야.
From the Chinese Room, the studio behind Dear Esther and Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, this is one of only 2 horror games in our countdown.
암네시아 스튜디오에서 만들었나?
Number 25. Still Wakes the Deep.
기대작 25위.
Hey there, PC Gaming Show. My name's Jason Graves, and I'm super excited to be able to officially announce that I'm the music composer for Chinese Room's Still Wakes the Deep. The Chinese Room has a history of incredible music in their games, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
We knew very quickly that we wanted to work with Jason because we're not only doing scary music, we're not only trying to get a player, there's other emotions we're also trying to evoke. So we needed someone who could walk that very fine line that we're trying to achieve. Yeah.
I can be scary all day, and that's fun. But what really makes it fun, I think, is that combination of emotional and scary. Because one sort of feeds the other. The setting of the rig in the middle of the ocean felt like the score needed to be sort of smaller and dialed in. We sort of split the sounds of the score in half. And one half of the score, we've got live strings and live woodwinds. You can't replace live players. These players are fantastic. And it's about the emotion and the humanity. The other half of the score is a synthesizer and an actual sound sculpture that was built specifically for the score. I've got a friend who literally is a metal artist, and he ended up creating a sculpture which he affectionately named The Rig. Every surface of it can be tapped, bowed, scraped, or rubbed, and it makes all these different sounds. And they are about as non-human and non-emotionally tender or sensitive as you can get. It's the opposite end of the spectrum.
It's an emotionally complex game, and I think the music is able to reflect this with the use of these several different families of instruments.
And this game, I think, is going to be another fantastic entry in the Chinese Room catalog.
스팀, 플스, 맥박.
Our list of most wanted games on PC was voted for by a hand-picked panel of more than 70 industry experts we inducted into a not-so-secret society called The Council. Let's hear from some of them.
It is I, Miss Mika, the Bane of Melania. I am a member of the council.
My name is Marina Hallikainen. I'm from Colossal Order.
My name is Chris Barassa. I'm the creative director at Red Hook Studios. I'm here to reveal that in addition to being a little sunburnt, I'm a member of the council.
I voted strongly for Tiny Glade
In Dragon's Dogma 2,
그러니까 25개 게임을 선정한 70명의 사람들이라는 거죠. 이 사람들이 기대작 25개를
My
선정했다는.
name is Esfand, and I'm a member of the council.
And who is on this mysterious council?
이름이
It
시드마이어야?
could be anyone,
세상에.
even Sid Meier.
I got a Illuminati style cloak to prove it.
시드마이어 문명이잖아. 진짜 시드마이어야? 본인이야?
Number 24, Sword of the Sea. Games have a special capacity for movement, for empowering us to move in ways that are graceful or athletic or physically impossible. In this game's case, you're hoverboarding across magical, otherworldly terrain. And if anyone can turn gliding on a magic sword into an experience of meditative wonder, it's the visual and musical artists behind Abzu and Journey.
Sword of the Sea.
Dwarf Fortress is a PC classic, famous as a factory of unforgettable stories. After releasing way back in 2006, Dwarf Fortress finally migrated to Steam 1 year ago. Soon, the masterpiece of sandbox simulation is expanding even further with a revival of its celebrated roguelike game mode. Fresh from the mountain homes, here's an exclusive first look at the return of Dwarf Fortress Adventure Mode.
저분 느낌이 스타쉽 트루퍼스의 그 디즈라고
the creators of Dwarf Fortress.
이미지가
Here we're in
똑같네.
this cool fortress with the dwarf Vukar working on an artifact, and he's made Kasha Zunal a gold ring for his family. But now I'm going to retire this fort because I want to hold this ring in my own hand. I can make a character in adventure mode, anyone I want, even a whole party. Let's take this one. We can explore sites, fight monsters, join a faction.
리멀드가 이거 보고
or go off to an old
만들었다고?
fortress to steal our ring. I've arrived with my hippo friend. We're pretending we belong here, sneaking down into the darkness. And there's the
복잡해.
workshop. Let's grab the ring. There's a huge map to explore. Adventure mode is a great way to experience the world of Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf Fortress's adventure mode will venture forth in the second quarter of 2024.
아 이거 눌렀다 뺐다 해줘야
Next
되네
up in our
계속.
countdown, we've got another great-looking independent game. Set in an eerie Polish town in the 1990s, Holston blends throwback pixel art, modern dynamic lighting, and mixed camera perspectives that caught the eye of our judges.
Number 23,
홀스틴.
Tomuś, kochaneczku, pomóż kobiecie w potrzebie. Uważaj tam na siebie.
와 이거를 도트로.
Powóz, Boże, światła nie działają. I co mam zamiast z tym zrobić? Masz jakiś pomysł?
저게 도트로 가능하구나. 와.
Na terenie należy zachować zasady bezpieczeństwa i higieny pracy.
헐 머리 막 터지네.
치아.
프러시아님 감사합니다. 플레이 데모 스팀. 데모가 스팀에 있대. 근데 좀 어려워 보인다. 게임이야 이거? 캐릭터 잘 뽑았다잉. 수집 빌드 게임인가? 언더 어 락. 에픽이다.
Explore a world that
스팀 없던데?
evolution forgot in Under a Rock, launching in early access next summer. Up next, the clock ticks towards the dark hour once again. February brings a long overdue reimagining for the game that found the magic mix of after-school extracurriculars and interdimensional dungeon crawls. In the 22 slot, here's a message from game producer Ryoto Nitsuma about the upcoming remake of Persona.
아, 페르소나 리메이크. 요거 기다리는 애들 많더라. 페르소나
22. Persona 3 Reload.
PC ゲーミングショーをご覧の皆さん、こんにちは。ペルソナ3リロードプロデューサーの新妻亮太です。この度は数多くのタイトルから
영어가 아니라서 번역이 안 됩니다.
本作を選んでいただき誠にありがとうございます。
일본어 잘 알아들으시죠?
期待を感じられてとても嬉しい。
그냥 들리시죠?
その思いに応えられるようにしなければと開発一同身が引き締まる思いです。ペルソナシリーズのターニングポイントとなったペルソナ3から17年、今の P スタジオの手で装いを新たに生まれ変わったペルソナ3リロード。本作の登場キャラクターの一人天田健の紹介映像を先日公開しましたが、見ていただけましたでしょうか。まだ見られていない方のためにも本日はこちらを皆さんと一緒に見ていきたいと思います。
게임 화면인데.
ではどうぞ。
So, I decided to call this meeting to introduce him to the rest of the squad.
I'll try not to get in anyone's way.
Swallow will air this winter as a TV special.
Huh? Wow.
르블랑은 항상
The
똑같구만.
main character. I gotta make sure I record that. Yeah, I watch it every week without fail.
아, 근데 이상하게 나는 페르소나는 항상 엔딩을 못 봤어.
Doesn't usually make much of an impression, but there's a theory that he's actually stronger than Hawk.
마음 다 잡고 해보려고 해도 항상 페르소나는 이상하게 엔딩을 항상 못 보더라고.
I chose a long weapon so I could match the reach of an adult. Oh, I hit my shin again. There! Now's my chance.
아니 왜 그냥 뭐라 그럴까, 페르소나가 은근히 대사량이 많은 것 같아. 전투 외 대사량이 저렇게 그냥 얼굴 나오면서 계속 그런 대사가 많아가지고.
いかがでしたか。シーズとして活躍する初等部の少年天田健、ぜひパーティーに入れて一緒に戦ってみてください。
난 저는 전투를 더 좋아하니까.
これまでにペルソナ3をプレイしたことのある方にも初めてプレイする方にも自信を持ってより鮮明に描かれる感動をお届けいたします。ペルソナ3リロードは2020
2월이면 용과 같이 해야 된다고? 용과 같이 말고도 2월 달에 어마어마하게 많아요.
楽しんでいただけるようチーム一同頑張っていきますので、ぜひご期待ください。ありがとうございました。
할 거 진짜 많아 2월 달에. 저거 스토커도 2월 달에 나오고 파판도 나오고. 엘든링 DLC는 2월달은 좀 아닐 것 같고 느낌상. 열차, 기차 만드는 건가? 아직 방송으로는 안 했는데 기차 게임 하나 또 하나 나온 거 있는데 그거 할까 말까 지금. 근데 영어라서 재밌어 보이긴 하는데 라스트 트레인 홈이라고. 방송으로 할까 말까 고민 중. 근데 되게 재밌어 보여.
Unravel 2 steams into early access in 2024. We continue our march through the most wanted with a game that's a truly handcrafted work of art. A stop-motion story of friendship on an alien seabed featuring a lovingly sculpted ensemble of stranded weirdos.
스위트홈 아직 안
Let's take
봤어요.
a look.
내 걸로.
Number 21. Harold Halibut.
Harold Halibut.
Hi. More than 10 years ago, we started building tiny sets and puppets to make our game Harold Halibut.
Now, the wait is almost over. Enjoy our new trailer.
Learning about people is a kind of adventure. A way of exploring lots of little worlds.
스톱 모션으로 찍었나 이거?
The fedora.
게임을?
Even if one of those little worlds looks barren and uninhabitable from the outside.
설마.
Usually when you make contact with it, you'll find plenty of life and laughter there.
Hello again, my alien fish bud. How are you doing?
3D하고 접목했겠지.
Too bad you can't tell me.
Were you? I quite wondered if maybe you'd take Harold with you.
Me? To the cave?
Yes, to investigate the source of the particles.
Humans are so unpredictable and complicated. There is almost nothing to understand.
거의 스탑 모션 애니메이션인데?
I thought you said it wasn't a vote. It's not. I just happen to agree with them. Is that Dr. Computer? You may commence stage D as discussed. Something is afoot. Too many things that don't add up.
It all seems a bit fishy to me. By the way, he's saying he's a human.
You must understand. Sands of Aura is a great entry in the blossoming ARPG genre, and you can play it today on Steam.
We have suffered, faced the corruption, ruin,
약간 하데스 느낌이네.
but we have also experienced beauty. Kindness, union, and ingenuity. Yet there is much left to be discovered.
박소에 가깝나?
Maybe together we'll find something here worth saving.
샌드 오브 오라.
Now let's see some more titles from Freedom Games.
G.I.조. G.I.조 인형 같은 거 아직도 파나? 옛날에 어렸을 때 많이 팔았는데. 근데 이런 종류는 이제 게임이 너무 많잖아. 킥스타터네 또. 러스트 아이. 총을 쏴?
Find out more about G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra, Echoes of the Plum Grove, and Lost Isle on the PC Gaming Show Steam page. Back to you, Frankie.
2023 has been one of the best years on record for RPGs. With Baldur's Gate 3 ushering in a renaissance for classic role-playing, could
발기.
there be a better time for a game set in a new universe from Ed Greenwood, creator of the Forgotten Realms? For a closer look at the upcoming
이거
RPG
어바우드
sandbox,
말하는 건가?
we traveled to
아닌가?
Montreal, Canada to speak with the developers of Unforetold Witchstone.
Factions, empires, gods. They rise and they fall. The actions of individuals set the course of history. And you are one of them.
CRPG네. CRPG 제가 굉장히 좋아하는 장르죠. 근데 뭔가 좀 엉성한데. 발기를 보고 나서 이런 걸 보면
How will you shape fate?
위치스톤. 몬트리올.
I'm Malik Bukira. I'm a co-founder of Spearhead Games, and on the games I do creative direction and design. The aspects of the tabletop experience of RPGs that we really want to bring, the freedom is a big aspect, and not just the freedom, the sense of agency with that world. Freedom
주사위가
is
다이스가
cool, you can do
20이죠.
different things, but you want that world to
이것도
respond.
발더스
And on tabletop,
CRPG를
you have a game master, you have
표방하는
other players. There's always a response to the things you
D&D를
do. Freedom is
쓴다는
also
얘기지.
about creativity, feeling clever, feeling like you did things your way.
Like a tabletop RPG, players are more free to do stuff that they want to do, right? Usually in CRPGs, you'll see player being locked into certain
주사위 굴리는 게 좀
options.
너무
We decided that
싼 말이다.
we want a way, sort of philosophically, the player can construct their own sentences.
When it comes to dialogue, we added something that's really cool and unique, which we call the influence system, and it unlocks interacting with characters, talking to them at a really cool level. So you start by determining something.
너무 짜친다고? 요새 짜친다는 말이 요새 새로 나온 말이에요?
Attack someone, give you something they have in their inventory, or join you as a companion even if you want. And then you pick an approach. How do you want to go
요새
about
뭐
that?
애들하고 통화하다
You
보면
can
그런 말
go,
많이 쓰더라고.
Sweet talk them, be charming about it. You can
옛날에도
threaten
있던 말이야.
them. You can blackmail
처음
them.
듣는 것
You
같지.
can argue with them logically if you have like a smart character. If you're a cleric, maybe you can convince them it's the right religious thing to do.
짜고
We
친다는
decided
느낌.
on turn-based combat because, first of all, it is truer to the tabletop experience, but also like our dialogue and a lot of the choices that you make in the game, we really want players to have the time to reflect, sort of make
이거는
the
진짜
best tactical
정통이네.
decisions, even in combat.
발기 3하고 좀 달라요. 완전 정통이네.
You can find Unforetold Witchstone on Steam. It's still in development, but you can wishlist it already and join the conversation about the game.
world's worth of stories is ours to tell in Unforetold Witchstone, launching in early access on Steam on January 25th, 2024. What a moment.
발기 3가 진짜 대단하고 엄청난 작품이긴 한데 저는 개인적으로는 발더스 2 같은 게임 타입이 더 선호하는 타입이긴 해요. 출발하기 전에 버프 싹 다 걸고 막.
Up next on our most wanted list, you'll want to keep your blaster hand ready.
그런 방식으로 플레이하는 걸 더 선호해서.
Sometimes it pays to shoot first.
3.5판이 더 취향이에요.
Star Wars Outlaws.
스타워즈 아웃로드 기대작이죠.
Hey there, I'm Ammunition. I'm a content creator, but if you couldn't tell, I'm also a huge Star Wars nerd. I'm really excited about Star Wars Outlaws. I have very high hopes for it because the Star Wars universe obviously is very cool. They're focusing on kind of more of the original trilogy era, which is very cool, but I'm also happy that they are not doing a Jedi or Force sensitive thing, at least that's what it appears from the trailer, but rather just like a heist video game, which should be really cool. And I love seeing developers lean into single player games because not everything needs to be multiplayer, not everything needs to be online. I love single player stories that are crafted to be just a really good experience from start to finish. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope the Star Wars Outlaws is a 10 out of 10.
그래픽을 되게 잘 뽑은 것 같아. 이번 아웃로는. 근데 유비라 유비니까 80점은 넘겠지 뭐.
My turn.
Jackpot! I ain't digging no holes. My turn. What do you mean? Don't test me.
Hey, man!
로그라이크라니.
Engaged.
턴 베이스드야?
Finally, a challenge.
1인칭이던데?
Locked and loaded.
게임 방식에도 여러 개가 있구나. 뭔가 카드 덱도 있는 것 같고.
Lighten the fuse.
This space western roguelike hits high noon when Wild Bastards arrives on Steam in 2024.
우주 웨스턴 로그라이크.
Coming up on The Most Wanted, our exclusive on-location interviews with the development studios creating Path of Exile 2 and Homeworld 3. Plus, we're
호멀드
giving away a
빨리요.
custom-built Intel
제발.
PC.
언제
You like
나와요?
computers, don't you? Stay tuned.
제가 봤을
for
땐
your
내년
chance
말
to
같아요,
win.
느낌이.
Let's continue our countdown, shall we? We have all heard that devils may cry. But do they kickflip? From Devolver Digital, a dreamlike game of diabolical skating.
Number 19. Skate Story. We got our first glimpse of Skate Story way back in 2020, leaving us with fevered visions of a demon with glass skin, a skateboard, and a quest to swallow the moon. Pairing a vivid afterlife realm with the acrobatic and dangerous play of skateboarding seems like the
카메라 연출은 좋네.
Our most wanted experts are desperate to land an unholy heel flip in the underworld.
Now, as we all know, pirates have two great weaknesses: scurvy and poor infrastructure. But in this up-and-coming city builder,
그래 맞아. 내년 2월에 스컬앤본즈가 나온다는 또 소문도 있어요. 2월에 다 나오면은 한 7, 8개가 뭉쳐 나올 거야. 다 나오면. 용팔? 용팔이는 뭐 3일이면 떡치지. 3일 정도 하면 되지. 그러니까 이틀 정도는 스토리 올인하고 하루 정도 딴짓하고 이러면 리퍼블릭 오브 오피라 해적공화국. 뭐냐 이거. 2020? 원더키드 2020도 아니고. 데이터잭 2020.
To add some mega corporate espionage to your Steam wishlist, find DataJack 2020 on the PC Gaming Show Steam page at pcgamer.com/wishlist. The Most Wanted continues with the first strategy game selected by our panel of judges. Menace is coming to us from Hooded Horse, a specialty strategy publisher, and Overhyped Studios, the folks who made the gritty
배틀
tactical
브라더스.
medieval game Battle Brothers.
졸라
Now
매니악한 게임.
they're trading low fantasy for the far future in their first 3D game. Get ready to give those aliens hell, but not too quickly, as this is a
외계인 턴제면 엑스컴인데요.
Number 18. Menace.
메나스? 뭔가 기대되는데. 배틀 브라더스 애들이 했으면 오 느낌 좋아. 오 느낌 깸성 있네. 스팀 에픽 콘솔은 안 나오고요. 치하 그래 도깨비 마이너 버전 같아. 어느샌가 사라진 도깨비 마이너. 헛개비.
The world as we know it is dead. But with every death, new life blossoms. A life crying out into the void, fighting for its survival tooth and nail. A life that adapts, overcomes, and continues to rise above any and all.
다키스트 던전 미래 버전?
To idolize and worship, sacrifice and maim, wage war and destruction. A life that burns so bright it may set the world ablaze. And you
카드인데?
decide if its survival
덱인데? 덱 빌딩인데? 아이언 아이브.
Up Up next, one of our favorite studios, Obsidian,
아,
is
옵시디언.
expanding Pillars of Eternity into a first-person RPG called Avowed.
Avowed.
One of the things that intrigues us about Avowed is that it
이것도
specifically
기대는
isn't setting out to
됐었는데
put you in a sprawling sandbox,
시간이 너무 많이
but something
지났어요.
more concentrated,
처음에
like the
공개하고
studio's
나서.
recent sci-fi RPG, The Outer Worlds. And here's
왜냐면
another
아우터월드에서 한번
curveball.
말아먹어가지고.
The gameplay reveal trailer showed flintlock pistols. I'll say it again. We might be living in the best moment for RPGs.
원래 옵시디안도 되게 명가인데
Number 17.
20-30년 전에 호령하던 명가인데
Avowed has me super excited because of the studio making it.
뉴베가스 만들던 그
From Fallout New Vegas to
짬지는
the
어디
Outer
가고
Worlds, they've shown us they know how to make an RPG that I'm gonna love. When I was watching the
명작
gameplay
뉴베가스를
trailer, I was seeing all these
코팅해놓고
flashy weapons and cool spells and these big dungeons, and I was thinking to myself, there's a little bit of Elder Scrolls in there, but with a Obsidian twist on it, as they always do. So I'm looking forward to probably crafting and big, beautiful storytelling, big set pieces, and a
그래 예전에 그 3종 세트가 바이오웨어, 옵시디언, 블랙아일 스튜디오 이 세 개가
The Living Lands await in Avowed.
3종 명가
coming sometime
세트였다고.
next year. Now, one of the cool things about PC games is that it's the platform for the eccentric and the experimental. This is the platform where unconventional games about hypnospace detectives or city builders on space worlds are born, where Farming Simulator has its own esports scene. Our next game is in that same legacy of weirdness, but with plenty of interesting
드래곤
ideas
에이지는 지금 4 만들고
underneath
있으니까
art house exterior.
내년에 한번 봐야지.
Indica is a meditation on religion and authority, following a nun's existential journey with the devil by her side.
매스 이펙트로 다
Let's
말아먹고
see
지금
what kind of trouble the game's
드래곤 에이지
creators in
4에
Kazakhstan
목숨
are
걸었잖아요.
getting into.
바이오웨어.
Let me tell you about Indica. Who is she, you ask? Well, she's a nun. A rather plain one, if you ask me. She prays a lot, works hard.
뭐 무슨 게임이야?
Really hard? Goodness. She even finds some time to chat with, what do you call it? Jot. Poor girl. Of all the
수녀님 왜 담배 피세요?
places, why do you want to go to heaven?
11비트 스튜디오면 약간 약반 게임 느낌인데 뭐지? 뭔지 모르겠다.
Indica arrived on PC in early 2024. Next, we've got a new game in a genre that continues to evolve and grow, the extraction shooter. Hawked is a colourful comic-style PvPvE game where players deploy to a stylish island called Exile to battle lizardmen and fellow mercenaries for the treasures of a lost world. Now playable in early access on Steam, here's a fresh look at Hawked.
My game.
Let's get it. Go, go, go. Trust the one in a million. Renegade look in the score. Gonna make all my billions. But there's wolves at the door. This is what legends are made. This is what we made the grade. Gotta be number one.
PVP, VE까지 있나 보네. 진짜 뭐가 너무 많다. 다 습관났네 진짜. 뭐라는겨? Into the Light.
Forked is playable now in early access ahead of its full launch next year on PC and console. To claim free in-game items and premium currency, visit playhawk.com/rally today. Don't miss your chance. Make sure you drop into exile with a full loadout for the full release of Hawked coming in 2024. Next on the Most Wanted countdown, Dragon's Dogma devotees finally get their wish with a long-awaited sequel.
도그마.
Number 16. Dragon's Dogma 2. If you're hoping for a masterwork in open-world monster slaying, you can't go wrong with Capcom's RPG cult hit. Capcom has shown just how good it is at creating these mixed action and fantasy RPGs with recent entries in the Monster Hunter series. And Dragon's Dogma 2 looks to continue that trend. Fresh crop of climbable chimeras and a bounty of befriendable pawns.
사실 도그마 1도 처음 나왔을 때
in Dragon's Dogma 2.
너무 참신한 형식이라 사람들이 너무 어리둥절했었어. 지금은 조명받고 막 이래도 이거 뭐죠? 이상한데 재밌네요. 막
In a sequel set 30 years later, new factions arise as resurgent humanity faces its new greatest
근데 좀
threat.
비싸더라고요. 일반판이 91,400원.
Let's hear from the game developer in Poland, 11-bit Studios.
Number 15. Frostpunk 2.
아, 푸펑. 푸펑 1의 명성을
We survived the storm.
이어갈 것인가.
But it changed us. Mere survival was no longer enough.
이번에 엄청 넓어졌네. 반경이. 2배 정도 넓어진 것 같은데.
More and more people.
진짜 넓어졌네.
Dreaming different futures.
가운데서 시작하다가 저 끝에쯤 가다 보면 다시 다 재건설해야 되는데 대가리 터지겠다. 가운데부터 시작해서 끝에쯤 가다 보면 다시 다 건설해야 돼.
I'm Kuba Stokalski. And I'm Łukasz Juszczyk. We are both game directors responsible for Frostpunk 2, here at 11-bit Studios.
What you've just seen is the first gameplay teaser of Frostpunk 2, and as you can clearly see, a lot has changed since the first game, especially the scale of our city.
But what remains the same is harsh post-apocalyptic atmosphere that hopefully will resonate with you once again.
Stay tuned for more, because the gameplay trailer for Frostpunk 2 is just around the corner.
City must not fall.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, the creative director of Demon School, and I want to tell you about our tactical battle system. This is the planning phase where we'll plot our movements, which can be rewound at any time. Characters can only move in straight lines or sidesteps, like if you combined a king and a knight in chess. You attack enemies by running straight into them. You can see Faye did 1 point of damage here. Namako doesn't deal damage, but stuns and debuffs enemies, reducing their defense. Now if our other damage dealer Destin hits this demon, he'll do 2 points of damage. But we can take this further. If Newt, our healer, heals a character with full health, they get an attack buff. Destin now does 4 points of damage to this enemy. You can also do combos by pushing or pulling an enemy into another friendly character, as Namako and Faye are doing here. Once you're happy with your choices, you start the
약간
action
장기 드는 느낌이네.
These are the main puzzle pieces you'll be working with, but there are 15 characters each with their
이거
own
조합해서
unique
쓰면
abilities
또
for you to discover. You can also study new techniques,
세팅을
improve
다
your
해놓고
relationships, fight huge bosses,
한꺼번에
and
연결인가?
unravel the mystery of why demons are breaking through to the human world on this mysterious island. We hope you enjoy it.
아, 이거 뭔가 그거 있잖아요. 머리 엄청 아프겠네. 묘수풀이 같은 약간 그런 느낌? 게임 같다. 다크웹. 다크웹이라는 거 한번 구경을 한번 해보고 싶다. 어떤지 구경해 본 적이 없어서. 어떤 데일까? 별거 없어? 많이 해본 것처럼 얘기하시네요.
Next, with the only game on the most wanted list that's available now in early access, a team of retro shooter specialists are asking.
혼자 웹사이트 만들고 아무도 안 오면 다크웹이라고?
From New Blood Interactive, here's our latest look at Gloomwood, featuring its upcoming underport area and introducing us to the terrifying Crowman.
Number 14, Gloomwood.
아니 진짜 약간 진짜 그 불법의 온상 같은 그런 느낌이 있는데 있잖아. 들어가면 큰일 날 것 같은. 뭐야? 옛날 감성이네. 새로운 바쇼?
Gloomwood opens the gates to the Underport district in early 2024.
심지어 내년에 나와요.
Access updates to follow. Newegg is, of course, one of our favorite places to find upgrades, and later in the show, we'll be sharing some recommendations in our holiday wish list. But we've also partnered with Newegg to build a... Oh, wait, am I reading this teleprompter right? We bought an egg-shaped computer.
I'm inside. What's my target?
One new egg.
이건 실사인데? 인터랙티브 게임인가? MSI 지포스 뭐야?
See, you found my egg.
What the hell is it?
광고야? 아 광고구나. 게임인 줄. 14,900 큰일 났어 지금. 안 좋아. 13,900하고 차이가 없어.
pcgamer.com/egg to watch the full video.
아 게임인 줄 알았네.
The next game on the most wanted would probably rank higher if we knew a single thing about it. I mean, it's a decade after the release of Grand Theft Auto 5, and GTA Online is still clearing $500 million every year. How the hell do you follow that? And how scared should we be of the answer? Let's hear from our voting panel on how GTA 6 earned this position in our countdown.
근데 정보가 공개된 게 없어가지고 이거는 그냥 자기들이 순위 매긴 거야.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name is S-Fand, and I just wanted to share with you guys how incredibly excited I am for Grand Theft Auto 6.
My personal pick for the PC gaming show Most Wanted has to be Grand Theft Auto 6 because at this point it has been about 10 years.
그러니까 오피셜로 뭐가 나온 게 아니라 그냥 이 사람들 바람이란 얘기지.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's one of the greatest video game franchises of all time.
I'm excited to dive into a new immersive world, new cities, new surroundings.
Just the amount of things that you can do in this open world sandbox, and whether you just want to screw around.
Rockstar recently acquired CFX, which is the company that own 5M, and that is where NoPixel is hosted, and NoPixel is one of my favorite GTA roleplay servers.
I hope you guys are excited as I am. I think Rockstar has a lot of hype around it right now.
And very excited to see what it holds.
I hope you guys enjoy it when the game comes out.
기대된다고. 스팀월드. 이거 나온 거지. 본 거 같아. 어제 나왔어요? 게임 패스로 한글이 되냐가 중요하지. 이런 거 한글이 좀 필요하니까. 스팀, GOG, 에픽, 닌텐도, 필스 막 게임 패스 다 나오네. 정착지에서 생존하라. 또 빌딩이고 또 빌드야. Right.
Top of the Crown's Tyranny in Valorite, coming to early access in December. Our next game rounds out a killer combo of high-profile fighting games that have hit PC in the last year. Ready? Fight.
Fight.
Number 12, Tekken 8.
테kken 말 많던데.
It's been more than 6 years since Tekken last entered the ring on PC, and we're more than ready for a rematch. With revised fighting mechanics going all in on aggression and 32 characters to try before you settle on the guy with the leopard head, Tekken 8 weighs in right in the middle of our most wanted list.
We're moving forward in our rankings with the sequel to a Metroidvania favorite.
실크송?
We're talking, of course, about Hollow Knight's
메트로베니아는 실크송.
Oh, hey, Frankie. I think you could use a little backup on this one.
Hi, Sean. How did you do that?
Well, you know, it's PC Gaming Show tradition to have us, like, orbiting in a space frigate or in an underground facility, so I just started calling around.
You video called a World War II bunker?
I did. My powers are great. And so is my excitement for Hollow Knight Silksong.
기대가 크다고.
Number 11, Hollow Knight Silksong.
Allow me to share 3 reasons why I'm excited for Hollow Knight Silksong. First, the graphics. I adore the original Hollow Knight art style, and they're giving me more, but elevating it with more detail and layering. 2, combat in motion. The original Hollow Knight somehow was able to blend super fast, snappy movement with slow, chunky, Souls-like combat. And if you look at the Silksong trailer, you're seeing all sorts of new moves that allow you to dance around your enemies and jump around the environment. It makes me really excited for the second-to-second experience. But the third and the biggest reason is exploration. Team Cherry are masters of this. There would be a ledge in the original Hollow Knight, but when I finally was able to get there, there would be hours of content behind there, or new bosses, or new enemies, or entirely new zones. And it's that exact combination of a beautiful game that's fun and second-to-second gameplay that rewards my exploration. Oh, I literally can't wait for Silksong.
Thanks for your Silksong expertise, Sean. What began as a spin-off expansion to Team Cherry's beloved Metroidvania is now one of our most sought-after sequels, assuming it leaves hiding someday. Before we move forward with more previews, we want your input, and we're offering a PC-sized reward. Follow the QR code on screen and complete our PC Gaming Show viewer survey, and you could win a custom-built AC Mirage gaming PC powered by an Intel Core i9-14900K CPU. And now, a world
케이스는 이쁘네.
Two people have been reported missing. A male and a female were last seen heading to the forest 2 days ago.
A teen has not been seen since September 24th. We had a chance to speak with the mother.
It's been 3 years since she's been missing.
There are a lot of rumors about the lake. Do you personally believe that there's something sinister hiding in there? No, of course not. People love ghost stories, but in the end, they're just stories.
인터랙티브인가 이것도? 오, 느낌 있어. 드론 드레이크. 아, 근데 공포 게임 무서운 게 별로 없어, 진짜. 아, 그래픽 봐라. 우와, 잠깐만. 느낌이 타르코프인데? 그래픽 지리는데? 맞추기 되게 힘들겠네. 완전 타르코프인데. 그레이존? 워페어? 요거 좀 괜찮아 보입니다. 네. 잘 나오면 물론.
We're nearing the heavy hitters selected by our panel of industry experts as their top 10 most wanted games. But first, a fresh look at the gun-fu gameplay of Spine.
Redline, as your combat AI, I have to warn you that pressing the wrong floor may lead to unexpected consequences.
Who the fuck are you?
컷신이랍니다. 실제 게임 플레이 하면 아니고 컷신이라고 나와 있어요.
No elevator this time.
이거는 플레이하면 같은데? 뭐가 뭔지 판단이 안 서네. 스파인? 척추?
Bringing cinematic action choreography, Spine is coming soon to PC.
시네매틱 액션.
We're just minutes away from starting our top 10 countdown. And make sure you stick around all the way to the #1 game on our list to see some exclusive gameplay footage. But before that, here's a message from our friends at PC Game Pass.
이번 달 게임 패스에 저거 들어가 있어요. 렘넌트 2. 제 개인적인 원픽이에요. 렘넌트 2. 뭔가 1편도 같이 있더라고.
For its first post-Destiny release, Bungie is taking a walk back through time for our first entry in the Most Wanted top 10.
Bungie?
Wielding 30 years of sharpened shooter design, the studio is busy carving a new extraction shooter from the series that paved the way for Halo. So far, we haven't seen much.
아, 마라톤 뭐
but its
만든다고
mix of
했었지.
rampant AIs, mysterious alien precursors, unknowable space entities, and high saturation clone firefights are more than enough to earn slot number 10. Here's a special message from the studio.
데스티니가 지금 10년 아직 안 됐지. 원래 데스티니 10년 계획으로 했었는데 딴 거 만들긴 해야 돼.
Hello, I'm Christopher Barrett, franchise game director on Marathon. We're incredibly humbled by the reception Marathon has received since its announcement earlier this year. Being voted one of the most anticipated games on PC is an honor which
왜 데스티니 감성이 보이지?
everyone on the project. The whole team's hard at work right now, building Bungie's take on the extraction shooter genre. And the next time you hear from us, we'll have a lot more.
그래도 번지는 새로운 IP 만들면 기대해 볼 만은 해요.
I genuinely
게임 못
cannot
만드는
wait for
애들은
that.
아니야.
Right, let's keep things moving with a couple more trailers.
My creation has gone rogue. And I shall.
뭔가 저걸로 방을 만드는 것 같은데 연결해가지고 방 연결해서 만드는 거죠 지금. 오우씨 생각보다 스타일리시하네.
I am the master architect.
마스터 아키텍트. 그러니까 자신 있으면은 템 먹고 전투에서 자신 없으면은 힐 하는 거 넣고 뭐 이런 식인가?
Welcome to Crashlands. Explore a world filled with wonder,
와, 저 점프 옛날 감성.
mystery, and some of these things. Don't slap 'em. Just slap it all, except these. Best to make a home for yourself, but not just yourself. After all, if you're gonna make it on this planet, you need all the help you can get.
넷플릭스에 왜 써 있지?
Crashlands 2 drops onto Steam in 2024. At number 9 on the Most Wanted is the product of a simple design philosophy.
V.
If you look hard enough, you can always find somewhere to put another skill tree.
V 뭔데?
Even if you end up making a second game in the process. Warm up that left mouse button because we're about to show you some Path of Exile 2.
페어액.
We traveled all the way to New Zealand to speak with the team, climbing the highest mountains to
V
visit
V
their
정도
studio
받을
in
만하지.
Auckland.
Number 9, Path of Exile 2.
It seems the old ways still hold some power.
가방 사는 데만 내가 15만 원인가 썼는데. 야, 회사가 진짜 좋은 데 있다. 자연환경 좋고.
Path of Exile 2 is basically our next generation action RPG.
And one of the things we really wanted to make sure that we were doing with it is to make the action combat really, really excellent. We just want to make sure that anyone playing the game, you can play it like an action game, feels fun to play. We've added things like dodge rolls and like cancelling, things like this. And it just means that the game just feels a lot better than it previously did, as well as everything else that you'd expect from a sequel to Path of Exile.
One thing in particular that sets Path of Exile apart is obviously the depth, but in the itemization systems, crafting systems, but also the sheer number of quantity of monsters.
엄청난 숫자의 괴물. 디아 들으라고 하는 소리 같다. 엄청난 숫자의 괴물.
For Path of Exile 2, we really want to keep the mechanics from Path of Exile 1 that are great, but we can now have the opportunity to rebuild them or restructure them in a way that is easier to understand and much more accessible for someone coming at it for the first time, and keep that depth there, either hidden away or much more natural to understand.
I think there's a big difference between depth and complexity. Path of Exile 2 in some ways is less complicated than Path of Exile 1 because
패스 오브 엑자일 어렵죠. 근데 패스 오브 엑자일을 쉽게 즐길 수 있는 방법이 있어요. 남이 해놓은 트리와 공략을 그대로 따라해서 한번 즐겨보면 됩니다. 먼저 맨땅에 헤딩하는 것보단 원래 게임을 맨땅에 헤딩하는 게 더 재밌다는 사람들이 더 많긴 한데, 근데 이거는 남이 한 거 그대로 뺏겨서 한번 해봐야 돼. 안 그러면 너무 어려워.
The dodge roll actually came about because we really wanted to be able to find a way to having some skills that took longer to do than other skills. But the problem with that is that skills feel really terrible if you start them and then you can't get out of them. So we really needed a way to make that interruption be possible, and the dodge roll was a really great way to do it. We actually already had a philosophy for Path of Exile 2 boss design where we wanted to make sure that everything was dodgeable. But previously we were just doing that by running around. But I think the dodge roll has actually changed a lot of things, and especially because, now that you can expect a player to be able to do that, it means that we can have the expectation and the balance as well.
We've done fresh design on everything. We've taken some elements from PoE 1 in terms of monsters, specific monsters, and brought them over, and kind of because they were fun to play. Like, why not replicate something that is still fun to play? But of course, it's full fresh coat of paint. There are definitely new systems. I'd say a lot of the monsters are faster, for example,
진짜 엄청 빠르네, 괴물.
dodge roll helps to come into play. We have secondary AI systems that allow the monsters to do skills while they were performing another skill. Much like how a player can dodge roll to interrupt a skill, a monster can now do the same thing. We have a lot more monsters doing interactions with the environment. They'll interact with the world more, a lot more spawning from things, a lot more, like in one of our areas, the Isle of Kin, we have monsters riding on top of another monster. And then when they get close, they all
아직
jump off.
패스 오브 엑자를 아직 모르는 사람 많지. 그거 모르는 게 나을 수도 있어.
So with something like the mercenary now,
알아서 중독되는 거보다.
how crossbows should work, we kind of really looked at that and thought, okay, how can we make crossbows just feel completely different than bows? If you look at a shooter, it's like pistols and shotguns and things like that. Like, what about those makes them different from each other? And so therefore, it makes the whole experience just feel so different than what a bow feels like now. You want that like pull the trigger and it instantly fires. That kind of instant response type of thing. And I think that as we approach each different character class, we're thinking like, how can we make the skills here feel so different than every other class?
For a lot of the really unique skill sets like the crossbows, which are almost basically guns, there's a lot of work that's been done in other games to make those feel great that we had the opportunity to bring into Path of Exile, and there's a lot of lessons of what works well in a shooter that can work well in an RPG if you do the work, get the animations right, get the timing right. We've done a lot of core system changes to make.
근데 지금 보시면 화면에 되게 몹 적잖아. 저런 게임 아니에요.
Shooter-focused game. There's a lot of what have other games done well that we
지금
can
저기
bring into
피하고 한 명 잡고 지금 장난하나?
RPG is really built on.
저런 게임
They don't
아닙니다.
have the crazy level of skill variety that we ended up having.
So we've got a live stream later today where we're going to be showing off 2 of our character classes. We're really deep diving into the mechanics, and we're really excited to show that. So if you're interested to know more about Path of Exile 2, then tune into that later today.
The old magics, not to be feared.
근데 UI가 너무 똑같다.
Now, if you're anything like me, you leave your Christmas shopping to the absolute last second and then speedrun the entire thing in a single afternoon of guest checkouts and regret. But what to buy the PC gamer in your life? Well, our good friends at Intel have a few ideas. Here's 5 of their favorite gaming deals this holiday
PC 게임하는
season.
사람한테 가장 좋은 선물은 4090이지.
The Acer Predator Helios gaming laptop. Inside is an i7-13700HX CPU, an RTX 4070, 16GB of DDR5 memory, and 1TB of storage. We've been big fans of Acer's Helios machines for ages, and the new 16-inch Predator has fast become one of our favorite gaming laptops. It's the perfect combination of processor, graphics card, big 240Hz screen, and price. The 24-thread Intel CPU is mighty strong too, and the RTX 4070 graphics card also supports the magic of frame generation for a buttery smooth experience. This is the Gigabyte Aorus 15 gaming laptop, running on an i7-13700H CPU. RTX 4070 graphics, 16GB of DDR5 RAM, a
16기가를 요새 누가
1TB Gen 4 SSD, and a 15.6-inch 165Hz QHD display. If your needs are a little lighter, this only slightly smaller 15-inch Aorus is a great option. You still get a 20-thread Intel CPU with the same RTX 4070
아직 16기가 쓰시는 분들
and a
죄송합니다.
high refresh
제가
rate
말실수했네요.
QHD screen. It still
16기가 쓸
packs
수
a
있죠.
serious punch, and if you want serious frame rates from the latest games, either of these laptops has you covered. We've also got the MSI Katana 17 gaming laptop, an i7-13620H processor, RTX 4070 GPU, 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, and a 1TB SSD. If you're looking for a lot of screen
MSI가
real
더
estate,
싸군.
MSI's 17-inch chonker will get the job done without costing a bomb. The 13th Gen Core i7 is a 16-thread chip. The machine still sports an RTX 4070 graphics card to handle all the newest releases, and you content creators are going to love the massive 32 gig of DDR5 memory this expansive laptop has to offer. Next, MSI's Aegis gaming rig, carrying the i7-13700F CPU, an RTX 4060 Ti, another spacious 32 gigs of DDR5
TI 꽂아놓고
with 2TB
1200불?
of storage. So yeah, you remember that big black obelisk from the start of 2001: A Space Odyssey, right? MSI's Aegis R PC very much has that
160만
vibe,
원?
but also throws in
170만
a
원?
little RGB gaming flair. Inside this monolith, you'll find a beefy 24-thread Intel CPU and way more memory and storage than you'd usually find in a PC at this price. Finally, we have the 12th Gen Core and Arc bundle, an i7-12700K CPU and the Arc A770 with a $50 discount. But there ain't much that can top the feeling of building a gaming machine with your own two hands. And these Intel Silicon bundles will allow you to do that at a bargain price. For us, pairing a 12th Gen i7 with an
볼모로
AS770
팔아버리네.
is a real smart money play, because these older CPUs share a ton of DNA with the latest 14th Gen chips, and this graphics card has only got faster since launch. Damn, those are some powerful computers. Let's hope Santa thinks we'll all be nice this year, or at least he hasn't heard any of the things you've said in solo queue voice chat. Okay, our next game is a fun one. A blisteringly fast racer and a 1999 throwback you didn't know you needed.
1999.
Racing into early access soon. This is Death Grip.
이거 옛날 그 스타워즈 때 그거 아닌가? 데스 그립 데모가 있대요. 해보세요.
Now that's what I legally can't call pod racing. The whole reason we're here today is because yes, there are an incredible amount of video games, and we want to help you decide which ones are the most deserving of attention. But if you're watching and wondering, hey, why isn't the Elder Scrolls 6 one of the most wanted games? Well, let me explain. Our voting process for the most wanted list prioritizes games that are imminent and that we know lots of information about. The more confident we are in a game's release date, the more rewarded it is by our voting system. But still, there's a long list of high-profile games that have been in dark mode for years and years.
화질이 안 좋아진 것 같아요.
While theoretically
HD인데?
enormous, they're frustratingly absent from the public eye. So, just to give them at least a moment of acknowledgement, I'm going to see how many of these I can rattle through. Ready? The Elder Scrolls 6, Bioshock 4, which was announced 4 years ago, the eventual Cyberpunk 2077 sequel, The Witcher remake, Project 007 from the team that made Hitman that's probably going to be incredible, Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Come on, BioWare, let's see it.
바이오웨어
Death Stranding 2,
분발하래.
Star Wars Eclipse, yes. The Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell remake. Oh, and that untitled Fallout-like RPG from New Blood Interactive. Armor 4, that League of Legends fighting game that looks really good. A Wonder Woman game. The new Indiana Jones game from the folks that made Wolfenstein. Good and Evil 2, which has been in development for something like 15 years. The reboot of the Escape series and Crisis 4. Crisis 4. Oh, while I catch my breath, let's see a couple of games that actually have gameplay footage.
그러니까 나올 기약이 없는 것들만 지금 저렇게 얘기한 거죠. Kepler.
Our world is in chaos. The gods and their armies of the dead seek to rule over everything we call home. I'll be damned if I let that happen. My name is Nora Vanek. Survivor. Soldier.
소울라이크야?
God killer.
플링락 여름.
Time for a word from our good friends at Mad Mushroom.
Mad Mushroom is a publishing company that is going to be a little different from other publishing companies.
Mad Mushroom gives us the opportunity to enter the games industry while at the same time elevating and amplifying the message of hundreds of indie developers.
You are literally working hand in hand with influencers to figure out how to make your game as enjoyable as possible, not just to play, but also from a content viewing perspective.
If you're a developer and you're interested in us publishing your game, you can go to madmushroom.gg. Check it out. We're very passionate and we're very excited about what we're doing here.
GG.
In a city that never sleeps, innovators like Kieran Short and the All Street New York City Collective remind us that with the right tools, like the Alienware laptop, the boundaries of art and technology can be pushed beyond our imagination. That's where Alienware's top-of-the-line computers come in. Introducing our real-life XP Boost, the Alienware Power Boost Benefit. Scan our QR code or visit the site below to see how Alienware is undeniably stepping up the game.
In
Island of
Insight,
Insight.
you awaken on a floating island as a seeker. Your goal is to explore a serene fantasy realm of ancient wonders and natural beauty, solve its mysterious puzzles, and unveil the secrets of the
퍼즐이요?
islands. We designed the world to be brimming with thousands of handcrafted puzzles, each of them
뭔가 탈로스
carefully
느낌
placed
뿜뿜이네.
throughout the landscape. You might start off solving logic puzzles and then decide to search for hidden objects or go find some perspective or memory puzzles to take on. Designed by some of the best minds in puzzle design, our puzzles vary in difficulty and are thoughtfully crafted
퍼즐 in very difficulty라고.
challenging and satisfying to
very
solve for
difficulty라는데.
newcomers and seasoned puzzle fans. There is no linear path in Islands of Insight. You choose where to go, which puzzles to solve, and in what order, all at your own pace. You can solve puzzle quests to unlock new areas in the campaign, or explore the main island, an expansive open world where most of the puzzles and secrets are found. Wander around the sublime landscapes on foot, or glide above them. Our shared world
저
allows for
날개
seamless interactions and
디아블로
collaboration
3 때
between players.
주던 날개
You can
아닙니까?
interact with others for a bit of guidance, or
특전으로?
you can play entirely on your own. This is your adventure. In today's
TDL
fast-paced
날개.
world, we hope Islands of Insight delivers a sublime escape for players looking to unwind. If you want to discover more, play our demo today on our Steam page.
In 1999, Homeworld brought RTS-based combat fully into 3 dimensions. Now, 20 years after Homeworld 2,
인생
it's a
게임.
very different world for real-time strategy, and an excellent time for a comeback. From Blackbird Interactive, this is Homeworld 3.
파리구나, 파리.
Number 8, Homeworld 3.
First batch of bombers rolling off the line.
Gearbox Publishing.
Looking good.
밴쿠버에 있군요.
Homeworld 3 is a 3D strategy game set in space. It's incredibly
진짜 니네가 전략 게임 부흥을 좀 일으켜라. 아,
thinking what are some of the coolest
진짜
spectacles
뽕 차오르는
you can think of in
게임인데.
the universe that you would want to play in or around?
In essence, Homeworld 3 was really our original dream of Homeworld 2. The problem was, in the late 90s, early 2000s, the vision for Homeworld 3 was utterly impossible to make.
Massive coronal sun ejections, massive battles in asteroid fields.
Massive environments with these giant megaliths, like gigantic Death Star-sized things that would create an interesting landscape for the player to move their units through. We had to wait 20 years.
거짓말쟁이들 뭘 20년 걸려.
So anyone who's interested in strategy or strategy-like games, we want to
그냥 놀다가
immerse
시작한
basically
거지.
anyone who loves science fiction.
For us, Homeworld 3 is a love letter to the fans of the franchise that have been with us over the last 20, 22 years. And with Homeworld 3, we want to just continue that amazing feeling that you got from playing Homeworld 1 back in the day and give that to you again. You can play Homeworld 3 at the pace that you want to play. Tactical pause are going to allow you to actually just pause the game 100%. We have a classic controls, which you'll know and love from Homeworld 2. And then we have our modern control scheme. And that one is built around FPS controls that you know and love from the games that you've played before. So MOBA players, RTS players from other games will be able to quickly understand, okay, if I want to go somewhere, I just click on this element here. Cinematic
진짜
combat
프리기
is such a
돼서
huge pillar to
톨피도
the franchise.
발사해가지고
We want you to be
톨피도
able to get in there,
그
find the coolest camera angle.
어뢰를 추적할 수 있거든요. 카메라로. 홈월드 1, 2 보면 그거에서 디스트로이어 터질 때 그 쾌감이 진짜 카메라로 쫓아가서 그 뽕맛이 진짜 지리거든. 미사일 뷰가 있어가지고.
Combat terrain will actually matter. We have tunnels where you can actually take your fighters and frigates through those things, and that will actually remove you from the enemy sensors. You can ambush them. You can actually use a larger ship to take fire for another ship.
So in Homeworld 3, we focused a lot on what wasn't already available for us within Unreal. We wanted to figure out the more distinct views that the game would have that separate Homeworld from any other game, which is mostly the skybox and the lighting to give that feel of being in space. When you go into a nebula, the ship understands how much coverage it has from that, which will affect the concept of fog of war in the game. We knew that we wanted persistent damage on the ships, and so then we focused on what that system would be like.
You'll see the history of your battles as you go through the whole campaign. Please wishlist and pre-order the game. We're super excited to have you.
발매일이 공개가 됐네요. 일단 3월 8일로.
A tale of a long forgotten saint. For there was once an empty potential about to be birthed into existence. But the potential was greeted by short-sightedness. although nigh honestly covetous nor completely barren, it swallowed up everything that was given.
게임 이름이 재미없어 보인다고? 홈월드가? 모욕입니다. 저한테는. 원투를 안 해봤으면 그런 말 할 수 있지.
The same, reincarnate as fit and proper, but never aware, dictated from beyond by blessed ignorance and idle hands.
20년 전 게임인데 모르지. 당연히.
Solidarity, like a utopian hummus. Blessed be she. Life is not given, but received, and her worth lies therein. Blessed be she.
이제 사실 홈월드가 방송용 게임은 아니야. 혼자 쉐복하는 게임이지.
Blessed is she.
Perhaps you've heard of an obscure little indie game called Stardew
Stardew
Valley?
Valley?
Or maybe the
Sims.
hundreds of cozy life sims it inspired. Whilst its imitators are busy trying to rebottle the farm life lightning, Stardew's solo dev is leaving the barnyard behind. From two editors at PC Gamer, Lauren Morton and Molly Taylor, let's hear more about this highly
스타듀 밸리
anticipated
후속작이
follow-up.
있었어?
Number 7, Haunted Chocolatier.
아, 초콜릿이요?
Molly, you and I end up talking about cozy games on the PC Gamer Chatlog podcast quite a bit.
Which is why it's so exciting that its creator, Eric Baroni, is currently working on his next game, Haunted Chocolatier, where instead of us being on a farm, we're like running a chocolate shop instead, which sounds super exciting.
We haven't seen a whole lot about Haunted Chocolatier yet. We've seen a brief trailer and we've seen some screenshots. We've seen like boss battles potentially. We've seen a bit of the new cozy town. We've seen some expanded combat over the Stardew Valley formula. So we're definitely anticipating hearing more about it as it continues development.
So I'm really excited to see how Baroni is going to take that formula and evolve on it. And I have a pretty good feeling that Haunted Chocolatier is going to be setting the standards for cozy games for years to come.
Assistance required on the corner of 5th and 24th Street. A gas station has exploded and we require immediate medical attention.
Received loud and clear. We're on our way. ETA approximately 5 minutes.
아, 이거 그건가? 그 응급 저거 운영하는 거. 구급차 시뮬레이션인가 뭐 그거 있잖아. 앰뷸런스 라이프 패러메딕 시뮬레이터.
The crusade is about to overwhelm us. The crusade is on the rise. I have to warn everybody. We must keep them from reaching the enclave at all costs. Lorelei, it's been an honor fighting by your side.
아, 캐릭터가 너무 불분명하게 보여.
Likewise, my friend. But we'll make it out of here. That's a promise.
카드가 있네. 카드로 아 약간 희망에 비슷한데 카드로 출국시키네.
The silence that devoured my home. Please, guiding star, send me a sign.
Queen Lorelei of Erengard, they call me Murder.
The bird will guide you to my side when the time comes.
의외로 재밌을 수도 있어요.
The crusade brings you a better future. Soon there shall only be silence.
종족도 엄청 많네.
Devour everything unless we stop the crusade.
Firstborn, starborn, even constructs. Deep down, we are all as
Songs
one.
of Silence.
A vibrant blend of 4X management and card-based RTS battles, Songs of Silence releases in spring 2024. Next up on the Most Wanted Highway, a game that knows nothing beats a road trip. Just you, your car, the open road, and the interdimensional horrors bubbling forth from reality's cosmic wounds.
Number 6, Pacific Drive.
이게 왜 6이야? 뭔데?
The Olympic Peninsula, the crown jewel of the Pacific Northwest. Its unmatched views and quiet solitude offer everything you need in the most beautiful place on Earth.
There is no cause for alarm. Take shelter in the closest pocket of stability in your area. And please refrain from thoughts or memories of home.
아, 약간 쿠툴루 기반이야?
The chain of events were in plain sight. Strange accidents leading to the government's claim of eminent domain and subsequent seizure of the peninsula. The evacuation of 100,000 people.
맞썸카 느낌인데?
And abject failure at containing the rumors that spread like wildfire.
10 hours before Arda came to extract us.
9. Some zone secrets are best left secret. 8. 7.
I don't even look up at the sky anymore.
6.
Was she a myth, martyr, or monster?
5.
Nothing had more potential than limb technology.
4.
And look what it did to the Olympic Peninsula.
3. 2. 1. I have the distinct honor to introduce to you the American people.
뭔가 느낌은 있는데.
Scientific frontier with a raw power, the potential is limitless. On this day, we welcome our Faraday future.
이것도 2월이네? 2월 좀 빡센데요? 저기 연기를 고려해보시면 2월에 너무 많이 나와요. 뭐지 이거? 모탈 크록스. 뭐 하는 게임인 거야?
I just love that we're seeing smaller studios take a swing at Souls-like gameplay. Mortal Crux is coming soon to early access. Coming up, we're nearly at the top of our list. It's time for a second helping of Helldivers as the most wanted countdown continues.
헬다이버.
Number 5.
헬다이버는 그래도 좀 인정이지.
If there's one thing we value, it's interstellar combat with giant acid-belching insects, or as the fine soldiers of Super Earth call it, democracy. Now shooting in third person, the Helldivers redeploy for co-op, and our panel of experts can't wait to enlist.
뭐야 액박은 빼고 나오네?
Helldivers 2 arrives on PC for some co-op Starship trooping on February 8, 2024. Now, we turn to the unholy rebirth of a 2009 strategy cult classic. When Hell's throne sits empty, its greatest devils march to war
2월달에
in this
진짜 많이 나오네.
stylishly sinister game of
7, 8개
grand
넘겠는데?
strategy.
뭐 이틀에 하나꼴로
Here's
나오고
the latest
3일에
trailer
하나꼴로
for
나오고
Solium Infernum.
Set in the bureaucratic nightmare of hell, Solium Infernum is a political strategy game like no other. The Prince of Darkness has vanished, and to ascend to the Dark Throne as ruler of hell, you must prove to the infernal conclave that you are the most powerful archfiend of all. Equip powerful relics and cast rituals that can turn the tide of battle. Command legions, summon colossal titans, bribe minions, and attempt to outbid your fellow archfiends in the bizarre Hell's Blind auction house. You'd best learn the rules of Hell fast, and how to exploit them, archfiend. For it is malice and malevolence that win favor in Hell. Insult and extort your enemies, goading them into open warfare. Or worse, humiliation. Scheme in your sleep with asynchronous multiplayer, investing just a moment each day in games that can last for weeks. There are no loyalties here in the Abyss, and betrayal is the name of the game. Solium Infernum isn't called a friendship destruction simulator for nothing. Better to rule in hell than serve in heaven.
Solium Infernum 2월인데 잊읍시다 잠깐. 2월달에 나온다는 것만.
History is defined by moments when its greatest himbos collide. In January, the world will stand witness as Yakuza's very best boys unite for an ocean-spanning RPG adventure, and probably like some mahjong. Like a Dragon earned high marks from our voting crew. Let's see what Sega's got cooking.
Number 4, like a dragon.
아니 2월달은 날짜도 짧은데 왜 이렇게 많이 나오는 거야? 이번 24년도가 29일까지 있나요? 28일까지 있나요?
I really need your help, like right now. I'd take a bullet for a butt any day.
Take cover!
You can always turn a new leaf, but you can't turn back the clock.
29 하루 더 있어? 다행이네.
The precious time you're given. You ready for this, Kasuga?
Let's do this.
선의가 플레이어블로 나온다고? 무조건 한다. 뭐 원래 했지만.
You haven't missed your chance at our gaming PC giveaway. Follow the QR code on screen now and complete our viewership survey. Once you're done, you'll be in the running to win a custom AC Mirage PC created by the talented guys at Blue Horse Studios and boasting a Core i9-14900K CPU from the show's presenting sponsor, Intel. Hell yeah! Free computers. We're just a few games away from the #1 game in our countdown, and from showing you some exclusive gameplay footage I think you're going to like. But first, here's another game from our wishlist, Crown Wars: The Black Prince.
War, your great passion. How appropriate, for it makes you blind to our ascension. We were here well before your kings, before your religions. We will be here after your empires. We are domination. We are power beyond imagination. We are blood, death, multitude. We are the terror that whispers in the dark. We are the chaos in all things and the order within.
아니 뭐 하는 게임인지 알려줘야지. 아 전략이구나.
You may be many things,
Crown War.
but we have hope.
닌텐도로 나온다고?
Manage your forces for medieval tactics in Crown Wars: The
다행히
Black
3월이네.
Prince, coming March 2024. Sometimes PC gaming gives us games that empower us to make games. Our next studio visit is with the group behind Everywhere, an ambitious creation platform currently in development. Let's hear a little more about the big vision behind Everywhere.
어디야? 영국이야?
Hey, my name's Adam Whiting, Assistant Game Director here at Build Rocket Boy, and I'm working on Everywhere. So it's a world of creativity, exploration, and discovery underpinned by really high quality systems that hopefully inspire the next generation of games creators and world builders.
Hi, my name's Leslie Benzies.
진짜 20년 전하고 비교하면 진짜 스튜디오 많아졌다.
Founder of Build a Rocket Boy. Everywhere is a place
진짜
where
게임
players
많이
can tell
나오는
their
세상에서
stories,
사는 거야.
where they can build their own world. There's shooting elements, there's driving elements, there's puzzles. Players can build UGC, take part in many different experiences, and they've also play a AAA game called Mind's Eye. Tools, which we call Arcadia, they're part of Everywhere, so you don't have to jump to a separate executable to trigger them. We built the platform with UGC in mind, so it's inherent to the games.
Arcadia, I think, is a really wonderful suite of creation tools that we're using internally to build content within the platform. I think that's really important. If you're using one set of tools and then giving a lesser subset of that to players, they immediately realize the limitations of the tool set they've been given, whereas we want everything that players play within Everywhere to serve as inspiration because they have the same tools that we use to build that experience.
So you could look at Utopia as the hub
맵
where
만들고 뭐
you
핀볼
socialize,
메이킹하고 뭐 이런
come
건가?
into the games, meet up with your friends, decide to go play the entertainment that you and your posse will like to.
It's a place that you arrive in within Everywhere, and then you can use it as like a launchpad, jump into any other type of experience. Go and explore the open world of the biomes surrounding Utopia City. You can jump into the district buildings that curate specific types of content, or you can jump into anything you want to through our portals or through invite some other players. But essentially, that's the kind of foundation that you use to kind of experience all these other interesting kind of facets and gameplay experiences.
The progression system of the game, the actual gameplay of Everywhere sits within the biomes, and then you've got these abstracted other areas which we call arcs, and they're pieces of UGC content that we build and our players will build, and they're held separately from the main one.
They're connected by virtue of the fact they're all part of this one ever-evolving, ever-changing world called Everywhere, and they're all connected to using the same character and the same data to kind of traverse these different experiences, but they're not causally related or narratively related. You know, we were intentionally take a very light touch with the narrative within the game because we want this to be a world where players have agency and they have freedom to infer their own stories and their own world building within this space, and we don't really know what they're going to do with it, and we really want to earnestly kind of move forward with them and help them build this world with us. If you were kind of able to take part in like a shared reality with other players of all different types who had all different types of backgrounds and experiences and wants and needs, but they're all being fulfilled by the creative potential of one particular platform, I think that'd be a really exciting place to be.
와, 숨도 안 쉬고 말하시네.
The purpose of our alpha test, it's more of an infrastructure test.
The first people moving into this world are going to be able to check out our systems, allow us to do a lot of kind of testing of the back ends, all that kind of stuff. But they're also going to be kind of the intrepid explorers, the first into this brand new horizon, the first people to experience the tools and be able to build some really cool content with them. We're keen for everybody to get involved. You know, like I said, this is a game that's been built from the very beginning with people like you sat at home watching this video right now in mind. So I implore you, please come to everywhere.game, sign up for the alpha.
And we're very excited to hear player feedback.
네, 잘 들었습니다.
Time for a new world. Let's build it together.
그냥 뭐 자유자재로 만드는 뭐 그런 빌딩
We're closing in on number 1.
빌더 툴
But
같은 건가 봐.
first, the follow-up to a roguelike with fittingly mythical acclaim.
하데스.
Hades 2.
하데스 명작이지.
After 3 years and who knows how many deaths, we still can't get enough Hades. And apparently neither can its developers. In Supergiant's first sequel, Hades is imprisoned and the Titan of Time is loose. You're the witchcraft-wielding princess of the underworld striking out against the forces of Kronos. It's really something to imagine how Hades 2 could build on the slowly unfolding storytelling and elegant design of the first game.
아, 스타필드 안 돼요. 스타필드가 왜 맨 앞에 있는 거야? 아니야, 재미없진 않아. 스타필드 할만은 한데 바라던 게 그게 아니어서 사람들이 뭐라고 하는 거지. 요요 들고 있는 거야? 참. 페니 비.
You know, we don't think of the PC as the birthplace of platformers, but we continue to see outstanding 2D and 3D platformers release each year. Nice. Okay, Elden Ringers. However many boss kills you've got under your belt,
엘든 링이 2위라고?
test for every tarnished is, well, it's Millennia. The second greatest test is patience. And by God, FromSoft, haven't we been tested enough? Torrent needs his exercise. As we scratch at the locked door of the lands between for details, let's hear from some of our voters about what they're expecting from this expansion.
Number 2. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
I'm extremely excited about the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. Personally, I'm hoping that they will introduce a new.
아, 저 사람이 발로 클리어한 사람이야? 디디알로?
feeling as exploring Limgrave for the first time. Just something new and exciting around every corner.
디디알로 클리어한 사람이야?
In terms of boss fights, I'm hoping there will be bosses that are even harder than the base game.
미친.
If we go back to previous From Software games, typically we've seen that the best and the hardest bosses are in the DLCs. Some examples would be Midir, Gale, Orphan of Kos, Sister Fried, Manus, I would definitely say. It would be thrilling to see if they could come up with a boss that's even more difficult than Millennia. Story-wise, I think we'll get a greater understanding into Millennia's brother Mikola, which has been very much
근데 저 DDR이 아직도 있구나.
in the main game.
20년 전에 있던 건데.
All in all, they can't release this DLC soon enough.
One final RPG featured in our show today is the return of a true cult classic. We saw this studio right at the beginning of the show with horror game Still Wakes the Deep, but they're also working on the second coming of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
응? 이건 아니야. 이건 아니고 그냥 잠깐 방문했대.
Tell me, Willem, what rumors have you heard?
1위는 아니고.
That you were there in Cairo. They called you the Slayer.
And what will
꼽사리.
you, Willem, and to this lonely, forgotten warehouse?
이거 한글이 안 돼갖고 못하는 거 아니야? 마스커레이드도 꾸준히 나왔는데 한글 안 돼가지고.
exactly what he said you'd be. I guess that makes it easier.
Makes what easier?
What happens next?
블러드라인 2.
Before we find out which game tops our most wanted list, let's recap the top 25 so far. Still Wakes the Deep, Sword of the Sea, Holston, Persona 3 Reload, Harold Halibut, Star Wars Outlaws, Skate Story, Menace, Avowed, Dragon's Dogma 2, Frostpunk 2, Gloomwood, Grand Theft Auto 6, Tekken 8, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Marathon, Path of Exile 2, Homeworld 3, Haunted Chocolatier, Pacific Drive, Helldivers 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Hades 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree.
We've ranked 24 of our 25
Oh,
most
겁나
wanted
뜸들이네.
games, each capturing a different piece of our fascinations. We've had meditative sword surfing, demonic skateboarding, eldritch road tripping, whether it's the three-dimensional
스토커인가?
space strategy of Homeworld 3
스토커
or
같은데?
the ever-expanding universe of build crafting in Path of Exile 2, the most wanted represents the games we can't help but
파판일
hunger
수도
for.
있겠다.
But for our panel of experts, one game more than any other had a clear hold on our hopes. This game received the highest voting total from our panel of critics, developers, and content creators. It's the long-awaited return of a series that found wonder in jammed firearms and crackling Geiger counters, striking a balance between lethal tension and dystopic beauty that's never
또 다른 거
quite
잠깐
been
보여주세요.
matched. But also, this game is a
곱살이 또
testament to
보여주네.
developer fortitude. This is a project that's weathered wartime, including office
아닌가?
relocations and most
스토커나?
recently, a
스토커인가?
severe studio fire. Here is our most wanted game.
Number 1,
아 스토커네.
Stalker 2, Heart of Cornoble.
너무
Hello,
고생들
everyone.
많이 해서.
I'm Yevgen, the CEO of GC Game World and the game director of Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. Recording this video feels almost
뭔가 마음고생해서 엄청 마르신 것 같은데.
for the most anticipated
살이.
PC game. Being here proves that several elements much larger than myself aligned for this moment to happen. Firstly, it's about you, our fans. Many years ago, when the journey we had planned concluded, you refused to leave the zone. You enriched it with stories, love, and life, ensuring that legacy continues through the years. You've shown us that there are still goals to achieve and stories to tell. Your passion has guided us throughout this journey, and I can never express enough gratitude for that. I consider this award a symbol of your unbreakable trust.
진짜 연기에도 아무도 뭐라고 안 하는 게임 중에 하나지.
was extraordinary, marked by dedication, passion,
뭐라고 하는
and
사람 내가 본 적이
commitment
없어.
from everyone involved to deliver an unforgettable experience. I feel blessed to lead a team like this, and I dedicate this award to those talented individuals. Stalker 2 stands as the biggest and most complex game in our lives. It was ambitious from the beginning, but evolved into an ultimate challenge. It holds extreme significance and a deeply personal connection for us, crafted amidst the most stressful conditions imaginable.
근데 개발 포기할 수도 있는데 계속 개발할 수 있었던 거는 게임 패스라서 마소가 밀어주니까 가능한 거였던
It's
거죠.
about the legacy. Stalker began as a PC
전폭적인
franchise
지원이
that has
있었을
always
거야,
been loyal to the PC community. Receiving this award at the PC Gaming Show feels like a confirmation that we will remain true to our vision and roots. This holds extra significance for me. I understand that discussing somber topics during a gaming show might not be ideal, but I'll take this opportunity to address the situation in my homeland. The war still goes on.
그러네, 눈을 안 깜빡이시네.
Those
긴장하셨나?
currently fighting on the front lines,
아니면
including GC employees,
아
are
이제
real
깜빡이.
heroes. Not all of them were trained for this, they simply couldn't turn away. Stalker 2 was important for us even before the war, but now it stands as a national product, aiming to convey Ukraine's unbreakable spirit to the world. Today, we celebrate our victory here, while simultaneously striving for our homeland's ultimate triumph in the future. I am overwhelmed with the joy to recognize that Stalker 2 entered the final phase of development. Fellow Stalkers will soon reunite in the zone once again. Thank you all for this award. I assure you it holds far more meaning than I can express in a foreign language. Now I want to show you the story trailer we have prepared for this occasion. Please enjoy.
아까 봤던 그건가? 4K로 아까 하나 보긴 봤었는데. 메이드 인 우크라이나라고 써있네. 와, 자존감이 엄청나시네.
You asked me about my good luck charm. Remember? It's an empty shell.
Decided to play soldier with me? Dimitri and I were just discussing a certain puzzle we found in the zone, but we can't quite seem to get all the pieces to fit. Maybe you can figure it out.
It reminded me that we used to be puppets.
I took just one awkward step, and my whole world plunged into darkness. I'm sorry, Strider.
That was the day the psi fields were turned off. Suddenly, the voice of Monolith was gone. I felt as if I was awakening from a years-long coma. And through the scope, I saw the body of an unknown soldier fall.
We had a simple choice. Sit back and just wait for another super emission, or take a chance and get control of the anomalous energy.
Only I didn't choose that path.
아, 젤렌스키 대통령이었어? 어쩐지 많이 본 얼굴이야 했던데. 나는 배우인 줄 알았거든, 처음에. 진짜 그 대통령이야? 닮은 거 아니야, 그냥 약간? 나는 그 원티드의 그 배우 약간 닮은 거 같아갖고.
Thank you for joining us in counting down the PC gaming show Most Wanted. And thanks as well to our sponsors at Intel for helping us put on this broadcast. And remember, all the games featured in today's show can be found on the PC Gaming Show Steam page at pcgamer.com/wishlist. The Most Wanted list will continue in 2024.
아, 올해도 풍년이었는데 내년도 풍년이어라.
And neither will our judges. But before then, we'll see you back here in June 2024 when the PC Gaming Show returns. If I can find my way out of this bunker. They've locked me in and I think they're about to turn the lights out. Thank you again for watching.
Thank you for watching.